Are you feeling confused in your relationship? It could be because you're getting mixed messages from people in your life. Today I'm going to talk about what mixed messages are, what types there are, and what kind of problems they cause, and what you can do about that. Mixed messages are when you get somebody who is behaving differently than their words. So they might make a promise to, do something or be somewhere at a certain time, and then they don't show up. Sometimes it's just a simple flakiness thing. However, if it's in your primary relationship, that can feel really actually hurtful and disrespectful over time. And then you get confused about, do they really love me or not, right? But it can also be one message over here in this part of the relationship, I love you, and saying I love you, and then either doing things or saying things that aren't loving. So I remember a long time ago, one of my first boyfriends would tell me he loved me all the time, and then he would say mean things to me and make me cry. And I'm like, that's a classic example of a mixed message. And we were 16 and we weren't grown up yet. And so I hope that that's not what's happening for you in your relationship. So it creates a lot of emotional confusion and turmoil inside us, like cognitive dissonance. And what I want to say, I woke up with this on my heart this morning. For those of us who received a lot of mixed messages when we were kids, we have this place inside us that isn't sure whether it's okay to receive positive things, because a lot of strings are attached with those positive things. Do this and I will love you, or I'm going to love you today and then I'm going to check out tomorrow. For people that had narcissistic parents or parents that were drug addicted or just caught up in their own drama, sometimes they paid attention to you by the grace of God, and sometimes they didn't, or sometimes they gave you some kind of positive message and sometimes they cut you down. So I experienced a tremendous amount of this in my childhood. And what I've noticed is that it shows up in my life everywhere. I have a lot of trouble receiving, and really, and it happens even from the first impression. If somebody's nice to me, then I almost I'm afraid and I push them away. I push good things away from me sometimes because I'm not sure whether there's going to be strings attached. And it's just literally a knee-jerk reaction. It has nothing to do with my conscious desire to receive from a person in front of me. Of course, I want, technically, in my conscious mind, I do want to receive good things in my life. However, I've got these crossed wires deep in my system. And when I work with clients, I'm able to send shamanic energy into those crossed wires and start to loosen and sort those out, which then gives people more of an opportunity to open up their experience and feel comfortable with more types of experiences and opportunities showing up in our lives. I mean, life is rich and full. It's a mixed bag, but that doesn't mean that we're not loved. It doesn't mean that we're not deserving. So those are some of the problems that can come from mixed messages. And so what do you do about them? When you are in a relationship, you can say to the other person, hey, I feel confused. You said this over here, and then you did or said this over here, and I want a clear experience. I want to really know if you love me, and if you love me, then this is what it looks like. Love looks like your words and your actions match. All of your words match, and this is how I want to be treated. I want this kind of tone of voice. I want this type of behavior. I want this level of respect in our relationship, and that's what love feels like to me. This is what love looks like to me. So you can have those really frank conversations in your own conversation inside your relationships. Now, if this is an internal process and you're noticing that you're kind of kicking things away from you in your life, or you have really inconsistent kinds of positive things start and then they fizzle out, or you have big roller coaster troughs up and downs in your life. I mean, those can be from a lot of reasons. However, we're sending vibrationally, when we have mixed messages inside us, we're sending vibrational mixed messages to the universe. So the universe is acting on both of the messages or all the different mixed messages, and so then we get mixed messages in our life too, and from the universe we get mixed results. So for those places inside us, I recommend that we go into a heart opening exercise, and really we need to get big enough to hold space for all of that complexity, because it's really a lot. It's a lot of complexity. And it goes probably back to the earliest moments in childhood. It goes deep into your psychology. It's internal and external. So it's really a lot. So we open our hearts and we ask for the divine to open our hearts even further so that we can hold space for all of this. And then every time we become more, the more you can notice when you're running into one of those snarls inside you of like, oh, I'm not really sure, I feel resistant about receiving something. Check yourself and see if that part of you just needs some more love to start to unravel all of those crossed wires inside you. So that's what I'm recommending, is divine love and reparenting through your own love, knowing and trusting that you have a divine eternal heart inside you, that we are all channels of divine love as much as we choose to be. The universe wants to flow love through us. And the first stop on the love train is those places inside us, all of those places inside us that need help. And love itself is a transformative energy. It's, it's a 4-letter word, but it's a kaleidoscopic, multi-dimensional vibrational energy. It's the primary energy I use with my clients. And you can channel your own love into those places and imagine and see those crossed wires relaxing and resolving and beginning to straighten out into clarity, and notice whether you can receive more. Is it easier for me to have a positive first impression? Is it easier for me to say yes the first time I hear about something good? And start to work with yourself in this way. And water is also really good. Water is reminding me the fluidity to flow through that, to allow your own divinity to provide the grace to flow through all those situations. So I hope that this has been helpful for you today. And I really appreciate your time. And I look forward to seeing you the next time.